Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's Monday, September the 13th, and we are live with the Troubleshooters. It is season 3. Man, has some things been going on since you guys last saw us, but I'll recap the show in a minute. In the meantime, let's talk about what we got coming up. 2 days, well, today and tomorrow. On Wednesday, I'm on the road to Indianapolis. Come see me if you are at Gen Con. Come say hi to me. Come do all the things where we meet in person, because I absolutely love seeing all of the viewers and stuff like that. Let's see, man, I have been busy. I actually did something not related to D&D last weekend. I was a production manager running the camera operations for an MMA fight, thanks to my buddy Subconscious Studios. Keelan was like, hey, I need somebody to run this. I'm like, Sure, let's me. I'm telling you right now, Otter, look into Black Magic Design ATEM Mini Pro. It's a camera control and mic control thing. Dude, I was doing picture in picture. I was dipping in from fade to white and back to the next camera in the cutscenes. It was amazing. The whole thing was a great production. Unfortunately, it wasn't as high quality production as I want. You guys know me. If you know me at all, you know that I'm like, I want everything here, like all the way up here. Otter can attest to that. Thank you, Otter, for all the hard work you put in. But we only had two cameras. One of them was ring mounted and the other one was on a gimbal. But we did the best we could with the walk downs and everything else like that. And it was a lot of fun. I got bitten by a bug. I want to do more of this. It was a lot of fun. Speaking of bitten by a bug, guys, I'm trying to keep my energy level up. But I'll be straight up with you because this is what we're going to do. I am not feeling well. My youngest one got sick on Saturday and he's fine. Then my middle one got sick yesterday evening and like late last night. She's okay now. But my mom ended up getting sick, and then my girlfriend went home today feeling sick. Everybody has the same little stomach bug, and your boy walked 5 miles today, and that's what I'm going to attribute it to, the reason that my body feels so worn out. But I gotta be honest with you, earlier they said something I kind of bent forward, and it was like, hey, we don't do that here. So we may do a short show, but I promised you that we would be back on September the 13th, and goddamn if I don't keep a promise. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to be hanging out here we're going to do some exposition, transition into the story, and talk about everything else that's going on. Some things that I want to talk about, though. First of all, D&D Beyond. Thank you so much for allowing us to continue to use your tools. They are amazing. Speaking of things that are dropping on D&D Beyond, Wild Beyond the Witchlight coming out. When do you ask? What is it? This week? Like, it's not tomorrow, is it? Is it the 19th? Double check that for me. As I wanted to say, I thought it was the 14th, and then October the 19th is another one, and then the November. October 19th is not Wild Beyond the Witchlight. That's Fizzban. Thank you. The 21st. That's what I thought. I was like, it's next week. It's not this week. It does drop the 21st, and then on October the 19th, you have Fizzban's Horde of Dragons, which I'm really super excited about. It's a campaign setting and addendum, and it adds additional content and a source book of a sort. But did you know there's actually adventures in it? It actually has like 4 adventures that go along with it, so you can learn to play it. It has more legacy. So does Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is an adventure. It's a campaign. And then in November we have coming out the Collegium of Chaos, which is Strixhaven, which is a crossover between D&D and Magic the Gathering. So you can look for that one as the final book of the year. They dropped a lot more books this year than what they normally do, which I'm okay with. I'm perfectly fine with that. Sponsorship? Not yeti, but soon maybe? Who knows? Anyway, so that's what we got going on. Virtual D&D weekends. I was going to try to make it to Origins. I do not have the time off for it, so I may work that weekend virtually. So if you want to come play some D&D with me, sign up for that. Something, yeah, Hasbro ramping production because I don't know if anybody heard, but the Hickmans, along with Margaret Wise, are doing a Kickstarter that actually funded back in May, and it's an airborne adventure. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Adventures of Abraxas or Raiders or Sky Raiders of Abraxas or something like that. So keep an eye out for that coming out soon too. And if it's those two, because you can thank the Hickmans not only for Dragonlance, which we all know Margaret Wise and Tracy Hickman and Laura Hickman for doing that, but do you know who created Ravenloft? That is right, the Hickmans. Ravenloft is their baby. So thank you for that too. All right, I think that's all the announcements I have. Don't forget to join us on the Discord. We revamped that while we were out. Thank you very much, Otter, and to Jack for doing all the work there. It looks great. I like what you guys have done with it. Come play the RPG with us in the Discord bot. It's in the game room. Make sure whenever you join in the Discord that you go to the guidelines and the welcome stuff and make sure you mark the appropriate reactions so that way you can get access to things. Even if you had access before, you have to go back in and do that because some of the roles have been locked to that. So make sure you go back in and revamp that. All right, so enough about all that. Let's talk about what's been going on with these four hooligans in the interim. They left the New World, heading back home with portents of things to come. A city on fire, a giant squashing. Things were questioned all around the place. And one of the things that we acquired in there is a new warlock in the form of Moonin, who made a deal with some great elder being from beyond the void. Trying to prevent this from happening, Gratz interjected, but was met with power that he wasn't aware of and manifested there amongst them. They have to make their way back home as Colm is telling them he doesn't feel like something is right. The trip back home was uneventful as they crossed the sea. However, as they tried to get correspondence back and forth from Cardiff and Brighton and London itself, things were mysteriously quiet. As such, our valiant captain diverted them to land in Scotland, in Glasgow. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Nope. Forgot I changed my own thing in the last second. Diverted them north to land in Liverpool. And as we pick up, the ship finds itself lighting down in Liverpool. And on that note, let's begin this episode of The Troubleshooters. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you guys again. Missed you. The airship flies low over the port of Liverpool. You can see that the normal bustle and hustle of the city is going on. Nothing appears to be off as the captain lights the vessel down onto the shoreline and docks it there. The gangplank is lowered, and you are all allowed to exit the vessel. The captain shakes your hand and says, "Remind me next time to come up the normal way, if you don't mind."
Yes, sir.
Holm kind of looks back and forth, but just shrugs as he bounds down the gangplank. Liverpool itself is a busy city, large, not as large as London is, but still large nonetheless. You can see people moving in and about, milling shoulder to shoulder, jostling you as you go, your goods carried away. You clutch them tighter to you as you make your way into Liverpool. Holm takes a deep breath and lets it out. And he just kind of looks around and he says, "Oh, it's good to be home."
Be good to
I
be
feel like
home after we fix everything.
True. I'm not sure what's going on in London at this time, but I believe that we should probably set foot immediately, unless there's anything in particular that you need to take care of. Your new friend, does he need... No, I'm perfectly fine, thank you very much. I will be... And he tucks his arm into Emeris's, looping his arm through yours. "I'll be right here by my good friend Emeris. Isn't that right, Emmy?"
Yes, but please don't call me that.
My good friend?
We'll work on it.
Oh, okay,
A
Emmy.
name, though.
Oh, you don't like being called Emmy. Good to know. I'm famished. Food? And he starts to skip away with you in tow.
like dragging me.
Like, yeah, your heels digging in as you're being dragged across the way. Holm just kind of looks around at the rest of you, going, "Do I want to know what that's all about?"
Not much story to tell. Walks.
You know about as much as we do.
Well, you're in my city, so follow me. I know where to go to get some food. He unbuttons the top flaps on the buttons on his coat, letting it fall open as he makes his way, weaving through the crowd as though it's something he's done many, many a time. As you're going through, I would like for all of you to give me perception checks, please. Yes, I know your passive is stupid high, but I want you to roll.
Me with
Any
my
math
big
rocks?
guys.
It's over 20. Do I need to do the math?
No, you're fine.
I got a 21.
Okay.
11.
20.
17.
17, 11, 21, and way over that. Okay. Those of you who rolled over a 15. You see the constabulary. You see the bobbies marching and making their way. They are in pairs, but you notice something different about them. You're used to the outfits that they wear. The blue coats with their badges on their chest. The boot-cut pants that fit over their round-toed boots. You usually see them carrying their batons tucked into their waistbands. But they look different. Something else is about them, and as you look closely, you see that they have bands around their arms. And some of them have small sticks of wood, clearly wands, tucked into their back. Like across their back. Upon closer inspection of the bands, you can see that they hold the logo of the Directorate. Holm clears his throat and makes a hard right turn down an alley where no one is moving. He comes up short, looks at all of you, and goes, "Did you notice that as well?" Troubling times indeed.
I was looking at all the interesting buildings here. Why? What happened?
It seems as though the Bobby are wearing Directorate bands, making them part of that force, which that shouldn't be. There should be no interference across those lines. The Bobby are supposed to take care of the law locally as it stands, and the Director is to take care of only those items that are magic in nature.
Were those ones on their backs?
It appears as though they were. Imrus, do you think you could shuffle through the crowd and procure one of those wands for me?
Most possibly, yeah.
Your friend needs to stay here. What did you say your name was again? Richard. or was it Jean? I don't remember. What did I say? Anyways, Richard's fine.
You'll do great, Emrys. Tap you on the shoulder, cast guidance.
Liz goes, yeah, and you've got some cat's grace on your side too, so be on your toes. And she just like lightly touches you, and you have things to your dex. You have advantage on dexterity checks.
All right.
You've got my guidance.
You've got
your cat's grace,
You have my
and
magic.
I
You have
give
my
you
magic. You have my bullet.
I give you a
thinking-
thumbs up.
Otter, you're in my head. I was thinking the same thing. Have my guidance and my cat's grace and my thumbs up.
Go get him, pal. Pats him on the butt.
I feel like Moonin's over there just like what's his name? The comedian. And he's like always in the Adam Sandler ones. You can do it.
You can do it.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't have the name.
Rob Schneider. Thank you, Deca. All right.
So guidance
So-
is a D4, right?
And Cat's Grace gives you advantage.
Okay. What checks do you want first?
First, I want a stealth, so you have advantage on that.
Okay. Need to roll
And
this
that
twice.
duration is a minute for Cat's Grace.
No, it's concentration up to an hour.
Okay, great. So this should all work.
That's a 19 and a lower than a 19. So 19.
All right. You carefully, you stealthily move through the crowd. You had your D4.
21.
Okay, you stealthily move through the crowd. As you get closer, you can see two of the law enforcement agents. One of them does have the wand secured in his back, and it looks like it has 2 snaps of leather. So it's bare. You can see it. It fits into this little like metal cage thing. So you can't quite slide it out of the cage. And then it's held into place by these 2 leather straps that cross over each other and hold it in place.
Okay.
If you're going
This
to try
is
to get
crowded.
this. Yeah, it's a crowded
It's a
place.
crowded area.
Yeah.
Crowded enough that like people are brushing past these people.
Occasionally. Not quite to where it's like New York City at lunchtime where everybody's
Yeah.
elbow to elbow.
So I am going to wait for somebody that seems to be close enough that they're going to sort of cross past against them, and I'm going to make the motion and bump into them to enough to a point where they're kind of stumbling on their feet, and at the point recatch this person, apologize profusely, but also kind of move my hand to try and get the snaps in the movement kind of
Okay,
puzzle.
so you're going to try to give me a stealth, and I'll let you choose performance for your act. Or yeah, we'll go stealth. No, wait, back up. Sorry, my guys, my sick brain is not firing properly. We're gonna go with perception, so you can catch somebody moving. Let's do that one first.
So
You don't
stealth?
have guidance. It's just nope. Perception. You're looking for somebody to
Perception,
bump into with.
Perception.
You
I
don't have your
have-
guidance anything.
Okay, I don't.
No, your guidance is only a one-time use.
Yes, correct. 16.
Okay. You see somebody stumbling through the group. You guys stumble through the group. You see some guy stumbling through the group, and as you walk up behind, you can see that he's going to just barely miss the one you're looking for, but it's going to be an opportunity for you to exploit that.
If anything, I'm just going to look like I'm distracted while I bump into him, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, give me a deception check.
Uh, 21. It's a 12 plus 9.
You pull off the act perfectly. Your lie is undetected. Now I need a sleight of hand check. And
Sleight of
you do
hand
have
is
an
next, so I have
advantage. You do.
So 23 and 23. I rolled the same thing twice.
Okay. It is enough. You easily unsnap it as you stumble into him, nearly knocking him over. In the jostling and you apologizing, he does not hear the unsnap of the leather.
Perfect.
And you actually have your hand on the wand as the 2 of them come up and immediately draw their batons, and you see them like one of them's poking it into your chest. Move along. You ain't got no reason to be here. Move along.
If anything, I've like quickly tucked the wand like into the sleeve of my jacket, and I'm like, okay. Sorry.
It's
Backing up.
nothing for you to see here. Move along. All right.
Sorry.
As you make your way back to your friends, stumbling and moving your way through there, you end up. Give me a. What is your passive perception again?
Garbage. 13.
Okay. All right. You get back to your friends, and you do not have the wand. You look back and see a lithe-looking fellow, probably in his early 20s. He has like a driver's cap on, and he just kind of tips his hat at you. That was really well done. Mine was better. I didn't even need to bump into you. Come now. Don't be upset. I'll return your property to you, if you can take it from me.
Not one usually to play on a challenge like that, but alright. I'll play.
It's real simple. Best 2 or 3. You take it from me, and I take it from you.
Alright.
If you detect me taking it, I lose. If I detect you taking it, you lose. Simple and easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Oh, and don't let your friends be involved. Straight on the honor system, as we are. You understand?
Alright.
Most excellent, then. Well, then, my name's Darvin. Let's try this. Find the wand, if you will. Alright, so basically, have you ever seen somebody do a lift inside of, like, Street Magic, doing a lift?
Sort of.
Like
Yeah.
lifting somebody's watch or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're doing a game of lift.
Okay.
It's your sleight of hand versus his sleight of hand. Your passive perception versus his.
Well, my passive perception's bad.
No, you don't know what his is either, though.
I hope it's equally as bad. I'm just gonna pull out another dice. Give me a second, because I only have 1d20 out, and I'm like, that's not smart.
Have you played Knifey Spoony before?
No, I
Have
don't
you
like
played the guy with the beard's gonna shoot you if you don't give me the wand?
Listen, my friend's got a gun. If he sees this, it's not my fault. Whatever happens, it's not my fault. Sorry, I want pretty dice. This is my fault. Okay. You want sleight of hand, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I still have my advantage, so that's not bad. Be put away. Away. Okay. Okay, sleight of hands +6. Wow, those are garbage for first rolls. 11.
Wow. For your sleight of hand,
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
you reach in and he just like, as you do so, he like slides his hand along yours and puts his other hand in the small of your back, so he's holding you in like the tango first position. It was a lovely try there. Unfortunately, you failed on the first one. He takes the wand out and hands it to you. Squirrel it away. I won't look, and he turns his back to you.
Alright. And I do so.
Okay. He turns around and he steps in close to you and he says, "So, tell me, you ever been with a younger man?"
No, I'm a little flustered. I'm just a little flustered. I'm a little flustered.
Is it hot in here to you guys? We're outside. I don't know, but is it hot? It's hot.
Um, um,
As he flusters you, though, he clearly fumbles it.
oh, good.
And you feel his hand like trying to move inside your coat. And he kind of you look at each other for a minute. He goes, "I'm pretty sure you caught me there."
Give the top of his hand like a little tap.
Fair enough. All right, my turn. Turn round. Don't want you peeking.
All right, and I do.
And he goes, "All right then. See if you can find it." And again, you need a sleight of hand.
Okay, that's a lot better. 24.
You quickly find it inside, like a designed pouch on the inside of his coat, but it's closer to his rib cage than to like the front of the coat. However, you pop it and it drops into your hand, and you like turn around and like shoulder into him, and he just kind of smiles at you, impressed. That was a good lift. Didn't even feel you take it. Now, as you lift it from him, you squirrel it away somewhere on your person.
Mhm.
All right. Do you want to do anything else? Or you just want to hold it where it's at?
I'm going to, you know what? I think a fun spot would be, I usually would have held like knives at my lower back because it's just easier to kind of tuck in and pull out.
Mhm.
So I would like to think I still have those holsters at least. So tucking it kind of in the back of the holster, but it's like not in the knife holster. It's like kind of sitting in the leather strap.
Okay. God, I cannot roll with the shit tonight. He fumbles it again, clearly not finding it. You're looking at him dead in the eye, and he goes, looks like you found me. And that's the worst 2 out of 3. So, congratulations.
Emrys says,
Clearly, you're far
Correcting.
more skilled than I am. You,
I mean, go ahead.
you're not from round here, are you?
No. There's the simplest answer.
You should pop back round to mine, me and my crew. Give you something to eat and drink. You can
take
tell
it.
us what you're doing here and why you wanted that there wand.
Well, I don't know exactly what we want with it yet, but I'm sure we can answer something.
Lovely. About
I'll,
that time, Richard walks up.
God. Yep.
Making a new friend, are we? I'm just letting you know I'm willing to share.
Like, hand, like, up on his face? How tall is he, actually? I'm 5'5".
He's like 6'3". He's
Okay.
tall.
Probably up on
No.
tippy toes, like, get trap.
Dervin, who isn't much shorter than Grast, is just kind of looking at him and goes, apparently I stepped on somebody's toes.
You stepped on
My
my
name's
toes.
Dervin.
I'll hold out my hand to Dervin, and I'll be like, Emrys.
Pleasure to
Officially.
make your acquaintance, Amrus.
And where can I find you?
Follow me. I'll show you the way. And he
Alright.
guides the lot of you. And he stops and he looks at Combe for a moment. And they kind of look at one another for a second. Like, you've ever seen that where you're looking across a room and you're like, I think I know that person. Or they look really familiar. They give each other one of those. And they start walking through the alley. Every once in a while, you'll see the law, and they stop for a moment and like tuck into a corner, you know, like pressing you up so that they aren't seen. And then they kind of wait for the crowd, for the law to go by before he darts around again. Eventually, you're taken to a tavern. It is pretty good ways from the dock. It's not in the best part of town, but you can see that it's definitely no bucket on the green. But it's not bad for places. As you enter the room, there's shady characters here and there sitting at tables. You can see some of them holding dice, like they have their cards laid down as they're just kind of eyeballing the lot of you. And Dervin's like, they're fine with me. It's all right. You guys can relax yourselves. And you watch as they audibly just like relax and go back to playing their games and stuff. Dervin takes you over to a table and has a seat, and you guys are served. And he says, so, what was it that you wanted with the one there?
Real quick while we have a moment. Because you're not rolling well this evening, you have received a point of luck.
It might have to carry over, guys. Sorry.
And Richard has also received a point of luck.
Awesome. Colm fills him in on the barest of details about what he wanted the wand for. You guys sit there and drink your fill. It's not bad. It's actually pretty decent fare for what they have there. Dervin makes you surprised as one of the barmaids walks by. He kind of like, pulls her in, and she laughs and like kisses the top of his head, and he just winks at her, and she's like, later, and he kind of nods his head again. As the night wears on, you guys become comfortable. You learn the names of some of the crew that are working in there. When we got started tonight, I told you guys I wasn't feeling 100%, and it's starting to catch up with me. So we're going to call it here, but we will start next week here in the tavern. Sorry, guys. I didn't want to not come on the air. I told you guys we'd start tonight, but a stomach bug is trying to get me, and I'm just not feeling 100%. So please be gentle with us, and we will be back next week. I will regale you with all of the tales from Gen Con as I return from Gen Con. But let me know. We will definitely be back, and I will definitely be 100% next week. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry it was such a short show, but know that we will be back, and love you guys. Have a great night, okay? Good night, everyone.
Right.